A handcuffed woman gets face slammed by a Canadian cop? Man, this stuff has gone worldwide now, bruh. Damn.
Pascal.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Pascal, back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below and most definitely crush that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this conversation. This is a very, very weird one. You think that Canada is a peaceful place, but oh no. It is not. This one is a very weird one. We have a woman that got face slammed while handcuffed in a police precinct. She was thrown to the ground by an officer while she was still handcuffed in the police, in her holding police department area, whatever it's called. My boy Dave is here with me on a special one today. He's got some of this story. This is nuts, guys. Check this out.
Yeah, man, this is a crazy story. Like you said, I wouldn't have expected this from Canada.
Bruh.
But, yeah, in 2017 in Calgary, which is in the Canada, obviously, but the constable Alex Dunn took this woman, Kafi, and while trying to remove her hair wrap, he got frustrated and then just slammed her face straight into the concrete. And even the other police were appalled at what he was doing there.
Like, I'm telling you, man, face first, slammed her face. We got the video. We got to check this out. Real talk. We got to see it with our own peepers. This is a fair warning, everybody. This is some disturbing footage. I'm just going to be real. This is crazy. And I'm surprised she walked away with just the few bruises and injuries that she had. Just take a look at this. Bruh. Okay. Okay, here it is. He just straight up, like, there's no sound or anything. It's just the motion. You know what I'm saying? But he just straight up, like, body slammed her to the ground like he was in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is some crazy stuff, man. And what's crazy is there's a little bit of a background story about this woman who was body slammed. Dalia Kafi was violating a court-ordered curfew. She was pulled over, like she was braiding some of her friend's hair at her friend's house. She realized she was past a certain curfew, or past her court-ordered curfew, and so her friend offered to drive her home. So as they're on their way back home, the cops pulled her friend over, and of course they're getting their IDs and everything. They're getting their information. Dalia ends up telling them a different name, because she didn't want to get in trouble. Of course, as the cops are going to do, they found out that she had a curfew, ordered on her, that she was past her curfew. So that's why she was getting arrested, and that's why she was in the holding cell in the first place. But if you look at the video, you can see that this woman is just like, obviously she's not doing anything. She's already handcuffed, for crying out loud. This woman is handcuffed. She ain't done a damn thing. And he's trying to take her headdress off. I guess she had a headscarf or something. And she kind of moves back a little bit. And you can almost see in the video, you could see that she's in pain because it almost seems like he's just trying to rip this thing off of her head. Because she reacts to that, his initial reaction is to slam her face first into the hard concrete floor. She ended up going to the hospital with a broken nose, and she had to get stitches for her lip. Thank God. I'm going to be really honest. Thank God that was the only thing that she walked away from that body slam, from that face slam. Sorry, that was a face slam. And if you rewatch the video, you can see it's like she hits the wall first and then the floor. It's like bang, bang. That's insane, yo. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, agree completely. Even the other police officers present agree. The prosecutor described what he does to Kafi, or Kafi was shrinking away from him because of the way he was pulling at her hair. And Staff Sergeant Gordon McDonald, who was the commanding officer at the time, said that she was just flinching back from him. And then in a swift move, Dunn slams the woman in what McDonald called a judo-style throw, causing her head to be bounced off the concrete. And when this was shown in the during the trial that he's going through, her mother just got so upset she actually left the courtroom just seeing it, which I understand completely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
McDonald goes on to say it's the worst use of force he's ever seen, and he heard her bone hitting on the floor. And that's why him and the other cops interfered and required the constable to back off from her.
Yeah. So you got this woman who literally did nothing wrong except for violating her curfew, right? She violated the curfew that, she overstayed her welcome. She stayed out a little bit too late. The only other thing that she made a mistake on, the only mistake that she made was giving false information, giving false identity. Instead of just saying her name and saying, yes, I have a court-ordered, curfew. I'm supposed to be home. I was supposed to be home at least an hour ago. I'm violating that curfew. That's the only problem that she had. That's the only thing that she did wrong. She did not physically harm any cops. She didn't cause anything. She didn't do anything wrong in this situation except for giving out false information. Other than that, where else is there? Where else is the wrong? So then suddenly, because she's wincing at this dude, this cop, ripping a headband off of her hair, and she's reacting to it, he just slams her on the ground, face first. See, I could see certain things like if she was kicking, screaming, if she was trying to bite him, I could see him probably trying, or her probably trying to do something that is going to harm the cop, and where he has no choice but to put physical harm on her. I get that part, but she didn't do anything. She wasn't doing anything. And clearly she didn't do anything because the rest of the cops, his boys in blue, his Canadian boys in blue, didn't even have his back. The woman didn't do anything wrong. In fact, when they went to go and take her in to go to the hospital, or to go get somebody to tend her wounds, she was not accompanied with a cop. Am I correct, David?
That's right. They said that they thought it would be inappropriate for the constable to go with her after the violence, and for her own comfort, they didn't send the cop with her because he was the one in charge of her at the time.
Facts. And you want to know something very interesting is that, I wouldn't either when she's not doing anything wrong. When she's not a violent human being. She was not a violent inmate. She was not a violent criminal. She wasn't a violent person.
And even the witnesses they pulled were the police officers themselves, such as McDonald. They asked him if there's anything to justify Dunn's reaction, and he told the prosecutor in the court, no. That was his only response.
He said, what again?
When the prosecutor asked if there was anything to justify that degree of violence, McDonald simply said no.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure I heard that. So exactly, because he knew exactly what he did was wrong, period. What he did was messed up, man. See, but this is the thing. And it's surprising coming from Canada. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here saying that there aren't bad apples in Canada, bad apple cops in Canada. Sure there are. Obviously there are. Case in point right here. But at the same time, you always think of Canada being a peaceful place, and you don't hear stories like this. You just don't hear stories like this very much. But unfortunately, there's even bad apples in Canada. Bruh. See, these are the kind of moments where you wonder, like, as much as we, obviously there's people out there protesting, saying defund the police and all that stuff. And, you guys already know, if you've seen a bunch of my videos, you already know where I stand on that whole idea. But at the same time, there is a moment where you have to realize that these guys need to be psych evaled. You know what I mean? They need psych eval. They need psych evaluation for sure. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for this cop to walk up over to the woman, try to rip off her headpiece or her headscarf, and that result to him face slamming her to the ground. You know what I mean? Like those numbers don't add up. The end result doesn't add up. The end does not justify what he did or how she reacted. Doesn't justify how she was reacting at all. Now, I can only assume that he probably was having a really bad day. You know what I'm saying? Same old story. Had a really bad day, very frustrated about whatever. Maybe he's pissed off about not making enough money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you don't put physical harm on somebody like that, especially when that person's handcuffed, y'all. This person's handcuffed. And you face slam this person to the ground? A woman handcuffed that isn't doing anything violent? It's jacked up, man. And I'll say this too. Thank God the other cops had her back and knew the difference between right and wrong, and that they didn't sit there and just like defend him just because he's, one of their brothers. They knew that what he did was wrong, and they weren't backing him up at all. So I commend them for that. But I guess that's the difference between America and Canada, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're not as corrupt up there. Maybe they're not as allegedly corrupt up there. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I feel sorry for that woman. I hope that she's okay. I mean, this obviously happened in 2017, so she's obviously around and still lives to breathe air and fight another day. But at the same time, it's a damn shame. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm very happy that the police stood up against their own for doing something so wrong.
Yeah.
But they still have some of the internal problems we have. Like, Dunn was suspended with pay for just a year, and the process of investigating him internally within the police is still ongoing, and they won't complete their disciplinary process until they get the results from the trial. So he's basically, he hasn't been out on the streets, but he's been doing admin work and still been serving as a police officer while they wait to try him for his excessive violence.
Well, I guess we're going to have to sit down, pop some popcorn, and just keep watching this case and see what happens next on this particular situation. It's still jacked up. It's wrong. That shouldn't have happened, period. That was bad judgment on that police officer's part. That woman was handcuffed and basically, at the end of it, she's putting her life in that man's hands. When you are handcuffed, you are surrendered. You are submissive. You know what I mean? You can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You are supposed to trust that cop and know that cop is going to make the best choices to keep you safe. Not only him, but you as well. And he clearly did not make those decisions. He did not make the right choice at all. Shame on that cop. And if he's still able to roam the streets and be a cop these days, he shouldn't be in the first place. That guy should not have a job. But there's plenty more. The world needs plenty more bartenders. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. Anyway, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that was excessive force? Or do you think that he was totally in the right in face slamming her into the ground? A handcuffed woman into the ground. Definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to crush that subscribe button. That would really mean a lot. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.